All right, my 3 movements are the front squat, the push jerk, and the deadlift. This is the front squat. All right, this is the push jerk. And this is the deadlift. So for movement number 1, the front squat, the biggest thing you'll probably see is there's imbalance in my front rack mobility in between both of my arms. So I'm able to get my left arm, that front rack, a little bit higher than my right. And then I struggle with a little bit of the rounding of the upper back, and that becomes very clear in heavy squat cleans and front squats. That can be fixed with a bit of mobility. I have some issues going on with the left shoulder injuries, one from a car accident not that long ago. So that is something that I'm working on every day. Things like wall hinges help, shoulder distractions with bands. And then as far as the rounding of the upper back, some of that is due to just weakness in that upper back compared to the rest of my body. So lots of bent over rows, pulling, seated pulling, and just building up that upper back. For my push jerk, I struggle a little bit with receiving that bar. And there's a little bit of like a reverb in my shoulders, sometimes my elbows, but it is usually my shoulders. So that it's not actually a press out, but it's just a little too bouncy. So it's not as strong and stable. So focusing on that shoulder mobility a little bit more. And again, that front rack that I just talked about with the front squats is making sure those elbows are nice and high, that dip, which is usually not the problem. It's usually the receiving of the bar that's a problem. But making sure that elbows are nice and high and it's a balanced movement with the front rack position. And then the third one, deadlift. This is more so in workouts than it is demoing for a class, but struggling with keeping the lats engaged, keeping the midline engaged. And then when the bar is really light and we want to go fast, or faster, I should say, sometimes there is a little bit of the let go of the shoulder blades in the upper back instead of keeping the shoulder blades back and down. So that same sort of lat engagement that I was just talking about. Just slowing things down, moving heavier weights, being a little more disciplined with the movement would help there. And then same thing, just practicing, keeping those lats engaged through maybe some tempo work, like lat press downs, and just practicing some drills with that barbell, pulling that bar against the body.